Hey everybody, this is your girl Deborah Coco, and make sure you check out Just Give Me the Mic on all social media. Also, check us out on Bronx at Channel 16 on Sundays at 10 p.m. And soon we will be launching on MNN coming up in June, everybody. So stay tuned for that network information. Support. If you want to interview, make sure you hit me up on justgivemethemic12@gmail.com. You want us to come out and rep at one of your events, also hit me up for that as well. And love is love, everybody. See y'all soon. Support. Hi everybody, again my name is Deborah Coco, and thank you for watching and tuning in to Just Give Me the Mic TV. I'm ready for my next guest now. You first saw DJ Latif do his thing, bring us in, had us rocking out in the studio.
Yes, he did.
Now I want to talk to Miss Kimberly Goodlook Seabrook.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
I really enjoy your poetry. That's what I want to start off saying. The first time I was introduced to you was at FemCon, right? Great event.
Yes, great event.
Which showcases women. I think it's an annual event that's going on right now in the city. And this was the second year, and last year, I mean, this year was just as good. You know, sometimes you can't match up to what you first bring out, but everybody brought it. All the ladies, so talented from all over.
Actually, yeah, people flew in.
They traveled.
They sure did.
And I had the pleasure of actually seeing you on stage.
Yes.
I actually walked in while you were on stage.
Oh, okay.
And I just stopped. I mean, you have the type of message and voice that really was like, okay, I need to pay attention. I need to see what she is saying, because she's definitely saying, you know, telling us something of importance. That's how I get. And then the next time I saw you was at Domestic Violence, right? At SOBs. You came through and did a powerful piece for us there too. So, I mean, I just want to commend you on the topics that you talk about.
Thank you.
I think it's awesome. But give us some background on you. How did you get started?
Well, I started. I was asked to perform about maybe 12 years ago on stage and do a piece. I mean, arts has always been my thing. You know what I mean? My whole life growing up, I've been performing and writing. I was
doing poetry?
Poetry. Okay. Well, no, performing more like doing plays and dancing. I did a lot of dancing.
Nice.
My thing, I used to write hip-hop songs over.
So like, your version.
Yeah.
It's your remix version.
Right. So like, LL Cool J, Roundaway Girl, I did Roundaway Boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
So that's how I really was starting with my writing.
Okay.
But when it first started, I had just got over a really bad relationship. Someone told me to, you know, they wanted me to perform some poetry, and I did. And I wrote a story. Actually, poetry was my therapy.
Okay.
I didn't go nowhere but just to that pen and that paper.
But the writing process is definitely a great way to get it out.
Absolutely.
And be able to express it.
Absolutely.
So, with your first show, when you first got up there and started doing, were you nervous? How did you feel about that?
Oh, yeah, I had bubble guts. Yeah, my knees were shaking, you know, but I was acting cool like I wasn't. But yes, I was nervous. And I think what was more nervous is that I talked about abuse. I talked about my whole personal thing with even having abortion and things like that. So to be on stage and putting your stuff out there, you're going to get people who love it and you're going to get people who judge you, you know what I mean? So those are the things that now I don't care, because I know whatever I say and whatever I'm doing is to help others as well. So
yeah, I was about to say, how important is that for you to like make sure you get it out? But some people like to hide certain things, but it seems like mentioning some of the topics that you just mentioned, I mean, you're being very open and honest about it. Why do you feel it's important to take that route?
Well, I mean, I've always been like that anyway, open and honest. So, you know, when you hold things in is when you don't heal. So learning to express and getting on that stage when people say, wow, Kim, you telling my story, I just don't know how to speak it.
Right.
And even the guys too, you know, I just don't speak for women, I speak for men, children, I speak for all of us.
Right.
So, you know, that's the thing, when you have even men say, wow, Kim, you were inspiration to me, I love you, your words, they're powerful, I'm gonna take that home and go do something. Those things, you can't put a price on that. I sacrifice everything in my life to do what I'm doing right now.
And I'm glad to hear the fact that you said that others can benefit. They can relate. Like you know, sometimes people feel alone, especially when they're going through their own emotional, you know, emotional inside things, thoughts in our heads, or when they're being faced with difficult situations.
Exactly.
And you hear somebody like, wow, I'm not alone, right? You never know. That can go as far as saving a life.
I'm
You know,
telling
just
you,
listening to
and I'm
somebody.
pretty confident that I've done that.
That's awesome. And the confidence that you have today in saying it definitely goes together with hearing the words and seeing the confidence. It's like you have a full package with your delivery, your message, and everything included. So I just want to say we have choices as artists, right?
Absolutely.
You could talk about whatever little thing, going to the store, whatever, but you choose to have a message like that to help and affect others.
Absolutely.
So right now, you said you're involved with what other projects at this time?
I got a lot of things going on. Actually, we're going to be in Peter Shoes
Right,
film together,
right,
so that's
acting,
dope. Yes.
Sexual preference
Sexual
coming out
preference,
soon.
yes. Shout out to Peter Shoe Platinum.
Have you acted? You said you acted when you were
I've done
younger.
little stuff, yeah. I've never, but I think what I'm really going to be doing is actually performing at the club scene. Remember,
Oh,
that's what he
okay.
said. That's what they said.
So that's natural
So
for
it's
you.
natural,
Yeah, that's natural.
So that's good. They doing what I'm doing best. But other projects. What else? I have a poem that was featured at New York Fashion Week a few months ago.
Awesome.
Yes,
Salute for
that was a big step.
That's a great thing.
Absolutely. What else? I worked
Was it
with-
one of the poems that you did for us today?
No,
Okay.
it's not. It's actually out. It's called Justice for All. It is. It talks about our black men and what they have to deal with,
Yeah.
and the struggle, and what we need, and what we need to survive in this world.
Yes, yes. So that's
yes.
good. Yeah, I definitely.
You can
Is it out
download
now?
it. Yep, it's on Tidal. It's on everything.
Okay, we definitely check that out and support that because that
Yes.
seemed like a powerful piece
No,
right
it
there.
really is.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kim, Goodlook Seabrook, anywhere you could download it.
Okay. So you have that, the sexual preference, and
I work with Chip Fu from the Fushnikins for his math program, which
Nice.
is actually, it's not math, it just stands for Music, Arts, Appreciation, Time, and Healing.
oh, that's the acronyms for it.
That's
okay.
the acronyms. And I teach poetry, I teach self-esteem, I talk to them like, I'm the
Like
big sis.
motivational, inspirational
Exactly.
speaker. So tell us about the project that you're doing with Fruit Snickers. What is that about? What are the
It's not
details
really a
involved in that?
project. I just go there, depending on what the new schedule is going to be in January. I'll go there twice a week. We do poetry classes. We could write about this table, and then I could write about it from my perspective. They write
Right.
about it from theirs.
Right. Because it's interesting to see all the different
It-
perspectives that come out of everybody in the room. It could be on the same piece, right?
Right.
And you can have 40, 50 different ways that you look at it,
No,
right?
it's so true because you know the song Key to Life, right? Key to Life,
Yeah.
Deluxe. All right, so the young kids heard Young M.A.'s version with that beat. And then I had to put them on like, no, listen, this is where it comes from.
Right. School them
It's
on
the
that.
original, right. So their homework assignment was to come back and write something Key to Life. So my version of Key to Life is not about having a big lobster on your plate. It's about putting on the stuff in your mind to help self-educate. You know what I
Right,
mean? And
right.
things about empowering and uplifting and doing the right thing. That's the key to life.
No, that's
you
good.
know?
That is the key to life. You need that knowledge.
Yeah.
Right? You need
No,
that
for
to take you
real.
wherever you need to
Wherever
go.
you want to go. It has nothing to do with this. Let me tell you, I was 2 years homeless because I sacrificed everything to do what I'm doing because this needs to be heard.
Right,
People
no.
need to be given some inspiration, some love, some light to. So.
No, definitely
Yeah.
true. Have you ever thought about doing your own book? Anything to publish all your works?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely want to do that. I think I want to do more of a life story, including some poetry in it. But yeah.
Well, give us some background on some of the different organizations where you've been out to speak, to share some inspiration and motivate some people. What are some of the situations you've been
Absolutely.
in?
Domestic violence, which I can't name any of the shelters, but
Yes.
I've done something called Hunks for Hope, which is a domestic violence organization. What I like about that is that she involves the men. That's why it's called Hunks
Okay,
for
Hunks,
Hope.
oh, nice.
So yeah, the men support actually the women, or
vice versa.
because men go through it too, and that's the
right.
thing that people
That's
don't talk
right.
about.
We don't really talk about that as much, but they sure do. You know, it's like not silent cry, but we overlook it. You
Exactly.
know? We got some women out here that's more aggressive than men that are.
And they try
you know?
not to fight because the kids involved or something, you know what I mean? And yeah.
I mean, that's a
it's
very
heavy.
touchy subject, even from SOBs, just to sit there and hear all the different stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we could be sitting around someone right now that's going through it, that's just not sharing it. You
sharing
don't
it.
know.
Exactly.
You don't ever know what somebody is going through. So
Exactly.
I think it's a great thing to be able to open yourself up, because that takes a lot.
It takes a
lot of
lot.
people don't like to reveal themselves.
It does.
But I think in this day and age, I think being true and honest to yourself is one of the characteristics that is most important in my mind, as far as, you have so many people that have all these hidden agendas and all these. I just like when somebody's just straight
Straight,
with it,
and that's
lay it
it.
out.
Here,
This
here
is
you
what it
go.
is,
Right.
and this is who I am.
Right. I'm 42.
Accept
I don't
who
have
you
time.
are.
Listen, I'm
Right.
42. This is me. It's always gonna be me.
I
Take
mean, these
it,
are all
love it, or
lessons for
leave
us
it.
to grow from and learn from. And it's good to support these type of organizations because you heal on your
Right.
own, right? Because
Right.
you may relate to something that can help you personally, but you also sharing amongst each others, and we all need support. Whether as
Yes.
artists, you need people to come out and support. It's so many different ways you need
So
support. Somebody just to look at you and say, hello, how you doing today?
right.
And really
And mean
want to
genuinely
know
mean it.
how you
Right.
doing today.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And not just say it. So it's very, very important. So where can we follow you on social media? Is there any projects out that you would like us to support? Give us some
Absolutely.
information.
I have 2 projects. I have a CD called Memory Lane, which is the first 2 poems that I did here are on there.
Nice.
So Women's Identity's on there, Home Sweet Home is on there. I got some stuff for the guys. I never forget my men. So
Right.
that's on there. It's called Memory Lane. And then the newest single that's out now, which is Justice for All. Really, really dope piece.
Nice.
Powerful.
Nice.
And then I have a children's song coming out called I'm Liddy. So,
Nice,
yeah, that'll be
nice.
released on the 22nd.
So how do you enjoy working with the kids? I know
Oh
that's
man, I
it's
love the
awesome,
kids.
an awesome
I
feel,
love it.
right?
Listen, I've been through some stuff as a kid, so I know what it's like
Mm-hmm.
to come to school and not even know if you're gonna go home to dinner and things like
Right,
that. And we
right.
don't realize that even women, or I mean, excuse me, teachers, not just women. Some teachers don't realize what the kids go home to or coming home from. So those
No,
things
but
I
it's
do.
true. And I try, like, I'm a new teacher now, like I just mentioned to you. So I try to be mindful. Like, sometimes you may see a child in class act up or have an attitude. I try not to be like, oh, you're not behaving the way you're supposed to. I'd be like, first, what's going on?
Right.
Like, anything happened today, something you want
Right.
to talk about? Because they need,
need-
they need to be spoken to respectfully as
Exactly.
well.
Exactly.
And they need to feel like somebody wants to
Wants to really
listen.
listen.
And somebody's here to
Exactly.
listen.
Exactly.
So, I thank you for joining me.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for
Thank
sharing
you.
your pieces
Absolutely.
with us today.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. Make sure you go online, support
Yes,
Miss
please.
Kimberly.
Kim Goodlook Seabrook. Yes.
If I say Kimberly,
It is
I read
Kimberly.
It
It is Kimberly,
Kim
but yes.
Goodlook Seabrook. Make sure you support her on all
Yes.
social media. And thank you
Please.
again. We'll be back with more.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. That was everything.
Sometimes it's hard for a woman to know her identity. Society makes it easy to become your own worst enemy. Feeling misguided and misled about your true destiny. Following the crowd instead of doing things differently. They expect us to act reckless and unprofessionally. They want us to be mad and filled with jealousy. Acting devilishly, desperately, and unethically. To make it in this world, you must be a celebrity. With a size 2 waist, living excessively and expensively. Not to accept yourself the way you're built genetically. How dare you walk with your head high respectfully? You're not supposed to know what it is to have integrity. They want us to be selfish instead of building collectively. Because sometimes it's hard for a woman to know her identity. But the power of a woman needs to be used effectively. Knowing your inner beauty and self-worth is a necessity. I know the peer pressure could sometimes weigh heavily. Banned from being who you are, you must change cosmetically. As it physically means more than acting intelligently. Not knowing the true you, who you are authentically. Instead, you act more pathetically, offensively, with obscenity. I'm not pointing the finger, so let me say this apologetically. But what if we use our beauty to change the world, just speaking hypothetically? We are queens. Let your crown shine. Present yourself elegantly. We are women. We create life. Use that power with intensity. Walk with grace, speak poetically, and attract others mentally. Because there's nothing prettier than a woman who can speak intellectually. Women, stay in your position in life because it changes unexpectedly. The world is yours. Stay strong and claim your residency. Because sometimes it's hard for a woman to know her identity. Thank you. Square Statue of Liberty. Home of hip-hop, fashion, culture, and creativity. Home of the rich residing in a penthouse with an overview of the city. Home of the poor residents unknown praying for a possibility. Home of the influence, bad behavior, negativity. Home of the women who are proud of their ethnicity. Home of the man irresistibly secure in his masculinity. Home of the 5 boroughs where we find versatility. Home of the people fighting every day for stability. Home of the hunger and addicted which creates hostility. Home of the blind trying to find their visibility. Home of the disabled trying to find the ability. Home of the immigrants working on gaining the adaptability. Home of the hustlers, the players, and the street activity. Home of the everyday 9-to-5ers working to keep on the electricity. Home of the strugglers working on making their dreams a reality. Home of the young girls learning to deal with their sexuality. Home of the tragedy that happened on 9/11, where many were killed and the living were left.
Hey everybody, this is your girl Deborah Coco, and make sure you check out Just Give Me the Mic on all social media. Also, check us out